Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we're taking a cheeky look at ANKR, and specifically, can ANKR 20x? So Chris, this is one of those questions getting about that time of year now, Chris. The bull run's, looming. It's doing quite well, and we're thinking to ourselves, which projects can, potentially do these, these 100x or this 200x or 20x and 10x and all that kind of stuff. So ANKR, we think there's a good, strong case here for ANKR doing at least the 20x. It could go much higher than that. I still think it's probably going to be more somewhere between 30, 40x myself, but we're just going to go with a 20x and show some examples as to what that might actually look like for the ANKR project. Okay, so if you do find this video useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all that said and done, Chris, let's jump on over to the desktop and take a little bit of a look at ANKR and what's going on here with the ANKR price.
Let's go do that.
Fantastic. So here we are on Coinmarketcap, and here we have ANKR. ANKR's currently trading today. It's 13.11% up at 4.372 cent. Okay, so really comfortable numbers there, looking quite strong. We obviously have a market cap of $305.8 million, absolutely tiny market cap. We have a circulating supply of 6.9 billion tokens, Chris. So again, rather small amount of circulating supply when you compare it to some of these other projects that are out there that are already in the billions upon billions of circulating supply. Now, ANKR's actually been around for a while, right? So ANKR's been around since 2019, and they've got 70% of their circulating supply already out there. The maximum supply is 10 billion. I know if we start thinking about a few other projects that maybe have only been around maybe a month or two and have already got, I don't know, 11 billion or so out in circulating supply, then, I think ultimately this one stands a slightly better chance of getting a little bit more traction to it, Chris. It's got a long time or a few years behind it, doing some solid work for the space. And obviously, and anyone who does not know what ANKR is doing, they do a lot of fantastic work for decentralizing cloud resources. They do a lot of things for nodes, multiple different projects that they're partnered up with. They do a lot of really good stuff, and we did a whole video on what ANKR is, so do check that one out if you're not familiar.
One thing to add, it's like 40 blockchain protocols that they support for staking. It's remarkable the number of integrations that they've got. That's why I really like ANKR.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. It does support a lot of projects, as you're saying there. The circulating supply is really reasonable considering just how long they've been going there. 70% is out there, 30% still not issued yet. So this actually might be actually out there all now. I'm not sure. Circulating supply is 70%, so that's cool. So when you start comparing it to a few of those other projects that have a lot more in circulating supply, this one definitely seems to be something that could do quite good stuff going further forward. And the use case is quite unique as well. The technology is unique. So yeah, do check out that video on what ANKR is and what it's all about, because I think this one is uniquely positioned to do quite well. Now, obviously, we have a really low market cap and a really low valuation so far, even though we've seen significant gains, Chris, recently with ANKR. I mean, we've done phenomenally well with this particular project here in comparison to a few others. So this is really good stuff. And ultimately, can we see, a 20x on this particular project? I absolutely can. So for example, if we were to take the current price as it stands today, that's 0.043 of a cent, and we multiplied that by 20, we're talking about only 86 cent. Okay, so 86 cent is really reasonable. It's not even asking for $1 per token at this point. And therefore the market cap itself would be absolutely tiny at 304,803,000 there. We end up with a market cap of only $6.09 billion, and so absolutely tiny considering a bull run, right? So it could even go much higher than that. So 20x, I feel, is absolutely easy to accomplish with such a project, with some strong fundamentals behind it. Some really good use cases, really transparent about how they're doing things. The team's really good. I think ultimately this thing is positioned really nicely, Chris, to do a fantastic job at continuing to decentralize those cloud resources and support many projects with issuing and deploying nodes at a click of a button. It's absolutely fantastic. So, for example, guys, if you wanted to spin up a Bitcoin node, you can just go to ANKR and click a button and you've got yourself a Bitcoin node. If you wanted to do an ETH node, you could do that too. Likewise, many other projects, even something like Elrond is supported by ANKR. There's lots of fantastic things that are going on here. So really, really good stuff. And ultimately, Chris, 20x is still, I think, cheap, but it wouldn't surprise me if we get a 40x on this thing. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I align to that. I think it's a minimum 20x. I really like the integrations and the partnerships that ANKR have got. I think they're immense. I think the team's fantastic. They're really transparent. There's no spelling mistakes on their website. There's so many different things. Like I think the tokenomics are really good as well. I just think there's so much going in ANKR's favor. The bull run, I think, is gonna be really good for ANKR. I don't think we're going to see sort of the prices that we're going to see in 5 years' time. I think it's going to be an immense long-term hold also. But I think there's definitely profit to be made in the bull run, and then I do believe that there'll be entry points for a long-term hold as well. I really do like the project, and here's why we've increased our position in it.
Absolutely. So let's just take a quick look at this, right? So this is the ANKR to USDT chart, and we can see the fantastic rally that this thing has had most recently. We look back here, this was July of 2020. We obviously had that little spike up in August that most cryptocurrencies were experiencing. We had that callback, and then most recently we've had this nice run here. Now, obviously, this is where it was before, and at least according to Binance, and this is where we are today. And it's doing some really good stuff. We obviously had that breakout yesterday, and it's done quite well. And today's been an interesting day. It's also increased in value, but those wicks are quite wide, right? Dropping down, a little bit volatile most recently. It is still going after that first price target, Chris, of 6.1 cent there. Now, we are now entering a world of overbought with this particular token, at least on the daily chart here. So I think there's going to be a little bit of an element here of cooling off a little bit. So we're going to have to potentially come back and correct a little bit, but we want to ideally be a little bit higher so that we can come back down and correct on our former high level. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And if we just have a look at this on that 1 hourly chart, again, you get much of the same thing here. You can see actually not overbought at this point on this hourly chart, and we're bouncing nicely here just on that 50 moving average. So that's a nice, interesting thing to see how that's really working in our favor. And we've still got lots of space to this upside here. The volumes are nice and low. So if that volume decides to really kick in, we can actually do some pretty good stuff here in terms of price discovery. So everything's looking pretty good here, Chris, on the ANKR chart. So let's just pull that back up into that daily view and talk about that, 20x, right? So in a 20x from the current position, represents about 1,900% growth, right? So it's significant price discovery there for the ANKR project and the ANKR token. And who wouldn't like 1,900% growth, right? I mean, it's nothing quite as nice as we've seen with VeChain so far, but it's still a very nice position if you were to get in today. I mean, we obviously were in much earlier, but 20x from the position today would still mean 1,900% growth, Chris.
Yeah, and I think that's remarkable. Again, it's one of those. I don't think there's many people talking about ANKR, and I kind of feel like there will be. Mark my words, those bigger channels, on the face of it anyway, will be talking about ANKR in the future. Mark my words.
Absolutely. So guys, hopefully you found this useful and informative. If you have, then do go ahead and smash that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all the various different videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all this said and done, we hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Take care.